chirp number one. Where is Brad Marchand on the all-time Bruins list? Does he play beyond next season? And is he underappreciated in Boston? A lot going on right there.
All right. Underappreciated in Boston, I would say no. I would say around the rest of the league, I think he is. I think the rest of the league sees him as a rat and a rat only. The players, and we'll get to this in a little bit, but I think the players around the league have a little bit of a different view of him, maybe than the fans from around the league do. What was the second one?
Second one was, does he play beyond next season?
Yeah, I think he will. I think he will.
Think so? Okay.
Yeah, I changed my mind. I thought that he would probably hang it up, but I think he will maybe go the Bergeron route and go like year to year and see how he feels, and hopefully sign a team-friendly deal to keep him around.
Okay.
Bonuses and so forth. And as far as where he falls on the all-time list, I think he's probably top 10. There's been a lot of great players in the history of the franchise, clearly. But I think he's top 10. I really do.
Okay.
Obviously Bork and Busick and Esposito and Orr, and I think Bergeron's ahead of him. Chara probably is ahead of him. After that, he might be in there 6, 7 range, 7, 8, somewhere in there, I would say.
Okay.
How about you? What do you think?
As far as the all-time list, you could argue top 5. And the reason why you could argue top 5 is he's in the top 5. I looked at it in just about every offensive category in the franchise history. Top 5 in everything, plus minus, like all of it. The only thing he wasn't plus 5 in was, I want to say, was maybe power play goals, maybe, but plus minus, ludicrous.
Yeah.
The shorthanded goals, number 1, like all of them, like he was up there, top 5 in just about everything. Does he play beyond next season? I think he does a 2-year deal to finish it off after next season. So that'll be 38 years old-ish, wrapping it up. Is he underappreciated in Boston? And I'm going to say yes. And I think that people understand how good he is. The thing that continues to hold him back is his reputation and the type of player he is. Even in Boston, like I think there's still people in Boston who won't give him the total benefit of the doubt because of whatever, I don't know. I don't want to say character issues because he seems like a good enough human being and leader and highly respected teammate. But it's more like some of the just questionable things he did. And I think that kind of sticks with you some, so they don't take him 100% seriously. And the Bergeron thing hurts him, because you can make an argument he's a better player than Bergeron.
You can.
Here's an interesting topic. Who's a better hockey player?
That's probably a really good, interesting topic.
That's a really good conversation
for the off season.
Yes, it is.
I think
who is a better all-around hockey player, like Marchand or Bergeron? You can make a case for Marchand. But I don't think some people will because of the Bergeron integrity piece.
Yes, I think that's part of it. Right. I think the Selke's a part of it. I think the playing center and having to play 200 feet is a part of it.
And being a mentor of Marchand.
Sure. Yeah.
Is part of it.
Yeah.
Right? Are you better than your mentor?
Right. Offensively gifted, I think you got to go Marchand. I think creativity. Yes. I think shot. I think on ice vision. I think is all Marchand. So there certainly are pros and not cons, but pros and less pros for each guy. I think that's certainly an interesting debate that we should have down the line, and maybe we should get.
I think that's a really good debate, and that has Twitter written all over it.
Sure does.
I think that sucker will explode on X.
Yeah.
But I think also his size, scoring over 400 goals at his size. I was listening to Andrew Raycroft talk about this on sports radio. Like, at his size and stature, like to score over 400 goals is like incredible. It's like he's like Theo Fleury.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's like, I mean, he's like a modern day
cocaine
Theo
problem?
Fleury. You know, what's that?
I said without the cocaine problem.
Without the without a lot of the coke. Yeah, but that's kind of that sort of thing. You know, to be at that size and just Martin St. Louis, like to be at that size and to play like that is like really impressive. Put up those kind of numbers, and when he's done, I mean, he's going to have next year, and then let's say he does next year and two. So he does 3 more years, and he scores 25 or so. That's 75 more goals. He's close to 500 goals at the end of his career.
Yeah, I mean, the
crazy.
people that say that he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame or won't be.
Oh my God, that's ludicrous.
Is beyond me. Like I don't understand that at all. Like he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He has
first ballot.
You know, and
he's going to be a top 5 player in the history of an original 6 franchise.
Yeah.
Then he goes to the Hall of Fame, dude.
Sure.
Like, I don't care. You don't like him. You think he's an asshole. You think he's a pest. You think he's dirty. You think he's whatever. You don't like him, and that's your narrative, and you're sticking to it.
Sure.
Fine, but don't be a dank. I mean, he's going to the Hall of Fame, like, and he deserves this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, all the work he's put in. I mean, they thought he was going to be a 4th line guy. They thought he was going to be a 3rd, 4th line guy.
Yeah.
You know, I was watching the Marchand and 1,000 thing the other night, and Claude Julien, you know, said that Marchand told him his second year he's going to score 20 goals, and Claude just like,
lofty. Yeah.
You sure about that?
But you scored 1 games. In his first year,
and then he did it, and then you know. So
exploded.
Yeah, I mean, he really has put in the work to make himself the player that he is now, and you know, all those characteristics are probably part of the reason that he's the captain of this team now. I mean, it just goes to show if you apply yourself and you put the work in, you know what you can accomplish.
And again, for the 3rd year in a row, the NHLPA, they had this little vote. Which player do you least enjoy facing, but with one on your team? Brad Marchand won it again at 29.19%, 12% more than the next guy, Connor McDavid. Like, by far, like 30% of the league, would want to play with him, but hate facing him.
Yeah,
so that tells you everything you want to need. You
I
need
mean,
to
that's
know.
competitiveness.
Like, that's all. Yeah, it's all of it. That's coming up big in moments. That's all of it.
Sure.
That's all of it. That's being a complete pain in the ass and having to, scout for him, prepare for him, know where he is on the ice, penalty kill, power play, 5-on-5, overtime, whatever, any of it. So, I mean, Marchand is. I think that Marchand's going to be a top 5 player after the 4 guys you mentioned. I think Marchand. Well, it's a great discussion to have, but I think Marchand is going to jump over Bergeron, but Bergeron's going to get the benefit of the doubt largely because of the guy he is. And I think that in the respect that people have, like, they're going to hold him up on a pedestal more, which is fine. Like, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm saying he deserves it. I mean, that's fine. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean. It's no slight on Bergeron.
No, of course not. No,
Bergeron is still one of the greatest players in the history of the Bruins.
Right.
Sure.
Right. Well, for sure.
We're arguing a little bit of semantics here. It's like, they're both insanely great players, Hall of Fame caliber players. It's just, where would you rank them? And that's a good, that's a bar side debate, have a couple beers and fucking go back and forth.
I mean, you could have 5, 6, and 7 all time right on that team. Bergeron, Marchand, Chara. You could make that argument.
Sure.
You can make that. Those 3 are in the 5, 6, 7 are all in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, and then Krejci, you can make that argument that he slides into the top 10. So you have, Jesus, like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's high praise for all those guys.
It is. It
really is.
All right, Chirp 2. Jim Montgomery gave insight on the goalie situation, which is going to be a complete fist in the ass after when it's all said and done. He alluded to the fact that goalies will rotate